Hello there. I wanted to go over a simple problem here today. It's one that kind of trips people up a little bit. And again, here I'll put it up on the screen for you, but it's 60 divided by 5 times 3, and then there's an exclamation mark at the end. And I want to point out here that the exclamation mark doesn't mean that the 3 is an excited 3. It's actually a factorial. So we'll talk about that. 60 divided by 5 times 3 factorial. And again, it's an expression. There's no equal sign on the end, but expressions can be simplified. Remember, a lot of people will answer this question and they'll have an answer of 36. And some other people are getting an incorrect answer of 4, and I'll go through that. Just remember, multiplication and division do have equal precedence, and they're solved left to right. However, factorials actually have priority over multiplication and division. PEMDAS is something that's really misunderstood. A lot of people memorize the 6 letters of PEMDAS, and they assume it's a 6-step checklist. They're assuming that you do multiplication before division, and that is incorrect. So multiplication and division actually have equal precedence, and they're solved left to right. All right, so back to the factorial again. A lot of people may not be that familiar with them. It's something that is taught fairly early on, but unless you deal a lot in probability or combinations of events, you may not be as familiar with them. But 3 factorial is the same thing as 3 times 2 times 1, which equals 6. So 3 factorial is actually equal to 6. And there's also a little confusion about where factorials fit within the order of operations. They actually fall under the E of PEMDAS. I know with PEMDAS, it's not the greatest of memorization tools. The E represents exponents. E is for exponents. However, that level actually is for anything that's shorthand for repeated multiplication. So honestly, factorials, exponents, and even square roots fit into that category of repeated multiplication. And then with BODMAS is a little better, I think, because the O stands for orders, and orders is kind of a generic term that really represents powers or exponents, factorials, and even your square roots. So I kind of like that term better. Some people assume that the E of PEMDAS only means exponents. So back to the fact that 3 factorial is equal to 6. And then where some people get this wrong is there are people who memorize PEMDAS and they think that multiplication is solved before division, and that's incorrect. It's actually, you're left with 60 divided by 5 times 6. And so when you go left to right with multiplication and division, 60 divided by 5 is 12. 12 times 6 is 72. So again, 36 and 4 are wrong. People who answer 36, they at least understand the order of operations, but they're forgetting about the exclamation mark on the end, which is your factorial. The people that are getting 4, they're trying to multiply before division, and that's really that's the worst of the wrong answers.